What are my least favourite roller coasters? What are my plans for 2025? When is the next all-day challenge? What's coming next in Planet Coaster 2? And why do I really hate Rita? If you can't tell from the title, thumbnail, and from what I've just listed off, today is Q&A day. If you don't know what a Q&A is, it is questions and answers, meaning you guys have asked questions to me and I will not answer them. But today I have so many different questions from you guys to do with theme parks, YouTube, my other hobbies, Planet Coaster 2, and even just random stuff about when the last time I went to Greg's was. But I'm going to try and go through as many as I can. There have been hundreds upon hundreds of questions across all social media platforms, so thank you so much for all of them. But we would be here for days if I tried to answer them all. Maybe there'll be a part 2. Who knows? And if you want to find out if there'll be a part 2, then subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it if it does happen. Not only that, but there will be some future videos related to some of these questions, so be sure to stay tuned for them too. But for now, let us get into these questions. I'm going to try and quickfire most of them, but some of them will require in-depth answers. Let's give it a shot. If you could design one coaster for the UK, what would it be? I'd say, personally speaking, it would be an Intamin multi-launch like Taron or Velocicoaster, but considering everyone seems to want one, a launched RMC hybrid Giga Coaster. What country would you say overall is the best for theme parks and why? That is a really good question. I mean, most people would probably say the US because it's so large and has so many parks. But considering I've never been to the US, I'd probably have to say somewhere like Germany. And that's just off the top of my head. Will you be at the opening day of Universal Great Britain? Of course I will. If I'm not there at the opening of that, I'm dead. What is your favourite piece of theme park merch? It can be out of the things you have or something you really want but haven't got. There was the Baron 1898 model at Efteling. That looked incredible and I'm so sad I couldn't take it home. But for things I have got, it's not really mine, but my girlfriend Emily won this at a competition. And it's not exactly the lightest thing ever. I mean, it's literally like... What would you prefer on the back of Swarm Island, an RMC, Mack Extreme Spinner, B&M Dive Coaster, or a Vekoma Flyer? Thorpe could really do with something like a Vekoma Flyer. It would be really different to anything they have. But for me and the way that park is going, I think a Mack Extreme Spinner would be insane on that back island. What are your thoughts on Disneyland Paris? It's a really nice park, one of my favourites out there, but especially at the minute when it is all just construction walls and fencing and... no, I don't like it at the minute. Which order do you put your socks on? I've never really sort of thought about which order I put them on. And now I think I'm going to be conscious every time I do put socks on. Greatest theme park memory? This is a really tricky one because there are so many good memories in my opinion. One thing that shines out to me is all the different opening days like Hyperia and Nemesis Reborn's ones last year. But also even like Rulantica. Go in there at Europa Park. Oh my god, that was one of the best nights ever. I don't know, I think most theme park visits are a great memory. If you can name one roller coaster to be removed from Pleasure Beach Resort in the next few years, what would you want to remove? And also, what do you think could be removed? As it goes for coasters, the one that I would want to be removed is Grand National, because I'd want it to be replaced with an RMC version of it. But the one that would probably be removed first is either Revolution or Avalanche. What's the biggest animal you think you could beat in a fight? Context, this animal knows it's in a fight and will be trying to win. Sam, what are you on about? You know what? I do not fight animals because I love animals. Maybe like a snake. What camera do you film your vlogs with? Lo and behold, I actually use my iPhone 15 Pro Max to record everything that is on this sort of channel visually, other than the field, because that's proper camera stuff. You can do YouTube with anything, man. How many rocks are there in the whole of Alton Towers? Now, this one is going to be tricky. Now, I'm cutting back because it took me so long to count them that it is now dark. And by my calculations, looking through Google Maps and trying to work out the rough estimate and then working out a proper number, I would say there's at least 4. What is the biggest roller coaster in the UK that you could survive without a restraint? What is this question? That's actually an interesting one. I can't think of one that you'd be able to... Well, I mean, you have your smaller ones like Flying Fish and Runaway Mine Train you could probably survive. Because there's absolutely no chance of airtime, I think Nemesis Inferno, if you sat towards the middle, you might be alright. Don't try that at home. When will the next Planet Coaster competition be? Now, I've had this question so many times and I'm going to answer it for you. Obviously, I've got my own park I'm working on right now, and after that will be another project which will be probably a lot smaller. And during that project, I'm going to do a competition to build one of the areas. And I'm not exactly going to say what that sort of competition and that new park is going to be, but I think you guys will enjoy it. When do you think Project Horizon will be built? I think it will be built. I know you said if, but I think it will. I would go for the similar timings to the Minecraft coaster at Chessington, so maybe 2027 or 2028. If you could have something dedicated and named after you in a theme park, say the upcoming Universal, what would it be and why? I don't think I'd want to put like a dedicated thing too big or like too out there so you can just see it and it looks so out of place. I'd really just like to have a poster outside of Hero that's just my face and it says, I hate this thing. Do you have any other hobbies outside of video creation? If so, what are they? Genuinely, it's probably a boring answer, but I love my Formula 1 and just gaming. Really? What else do you want to see in future updates of Planet Coaster? Probably one thing that everyone wants: swing launches. When will Minecraft content be returning to the DigitalDan channel? Right now! Here we go, we're in a new world survival. We're just gonna, chop down this tree real quick. And then, yeah. You're welcome. When will Wallace and Gromit Let's Plays be returning to the channel? Right now! Right, so we gotta go and get that, okay. Yeah, oh, Wallace wants to speak to us, yeah, that's fine.
It's going to be an eventful day today, Gromit.
Okay. There you go. When is the next Theme Park Tycoon 2 video? Soon. Ultimate question, what is the best Wallace and Gromit film / episode? Either Wrong Trousers or the most recent one, actually. Was the shoe worth it? Heck yeah. If you had the possibility to only go to one theme park for the rest of your life, which one would it be? I would personally say, if you could include Rulantica because it's part of the resort, then Europa Park. Which Formula 1 team do you support? You're not going to like this. I don't really support a team, but I'm a Max Verstappen fan. But in all fairness, I just love good racing in that series, so as long as we get some good races and different winners each time, I don't care. Why did you start making YouTube videos? It's a bit of a weird one, this, because obviously I'm doing theme park stuff now, and I'm very grateful to be in the position I am, but I genuinely just started making YouTube videos just playing games on my Wii U and PS3. Hey Dan, what do you think the future is for Dark Forest? I'm assuming that's the one at Alton Towers, because that's the only one I can think of. Jokes aside, I think Rita will actually go at some point and we will be left with a brand new themed Dark Forest with 13 in the background and some new sort of launch coaster at the front with maybe a new flat ride or two to go alongside. What is your favourite soundtrack from a UK theme park? Icon has a great soundtrack, Hyperia's soundtrack is amazing. There's so many good ones in the UK. I genuinely couldn't choose. What coaster at Alton Towers is the biggest waste of time? I don't think I have to answer that one. I'm loving your Planet Coaster Park. Once this one is done, will you do another one? Thank you very much. I really do appreciate all the support on that series. It does take a while to make, but it's such a passion project. Like, I absolutely love making those videos and showing you guys what I've built. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying it, and I'm enjoying it too, which is why, even with that competition park I'm going to make, on top of that, and even more afterwards, there'll be multiple different parks. So many ideas. I have them all. Icon at Blackpool said, I am the best Mac in the UK. You clearly have not met your match yet. What was your dream job as a child? Genuinely, it wasn't anything to do with theme parks. It was to do with architecture. So I know it's sort of, building stuff. So it sort of links. But I wanted to be an architect and design buildings and stuff. How fun. And then I thought, oh, I really like theme parks now. Let me start designing roller coasters. And then it sort of twisted into designing roller coasters and then YouTube. Don't know what that hand action was. When was the last time you went to Greg's? Genuinely today. And I'm not even lying. And I'm also not even lying that I didn't know these existed. Since when could you get a Greg's gift card? What is the most underrated or unloved attraction that you have experienced but think it deserves more love? There is one coaster that comes to mind. It is Goliath at Wallaby Holland. That ride was incredible. I'd say it's up there with Untamed as the two best coasters at the park. When did this past week in theme parks first begin? When did you have the idea to start a weekly theme park news series? You sort of see these other channels that cover the news, whether it be weekly or whenever, like monthly, in like football or Formula 1 formats, but when it comes to theme parks, no one was really doing that, and there was never a way of seeing what was happening every single week in the industry. Really glad I chose to make that series and chose that theme tune. How many more areas are there going to be inside Isle of Discovery? I did the maths earlier on, and I looked at the park, looking at how much space we have left, and including the water park, there's probably going to be that water park, plus another 5 areas maybe? What is the piece count of Isle of Discovery? Should we find out right now? It's going to crash my computer. Right, here we go. Drag it across. Yep. I told you this would happen. Oh my god. I didn't think it would be that high. If you don't like going upside down on roller coasters, how should you build up to it at Alton Towers? Now, I've had a lot of comments about this and overcoming your fear of roller coasters, and I probably will do a separate video about it. Now, speaking of inversion wise, I would genuinely give Galactica a go first, and then if you like that, try Nemesis, and then of course, head over to the Smiler. Going upside down may seem scary off-ride, but it is so much fun on-ride. What is your favourite video you have ever uploaded? I'm genuinely curious. I'm curious too, because I have no idea. I think a lot of my vlogs and stuff do hold a lot of memories, and I really do enjoy looking back on them and just having a laugh about that entire day we spent. But I'd say the ones I'm happiest with were Hero All Day, this past week in theme parks, and Isle of Discovery as 2 different series are some of my favourite things I've ever done on this channel. So one of those 3. Favourite restraint type? This thing. Or this one. What's your opinion on David Walliams at Alton Towers? Do you think a new original theme will be better for the land than what's currently there? I wouldn't be surprised if we were to turn up this year or next year and it be completely ripped out. Do you have an editor? If not, it's genuinely impressive that you're able to put so much content weekly without burning out. And as an extension to the question, have you ever burnt out from working too hard to make videos? I appreciate that, and no, I do not have an editor. I think, personally speaking, I love editing as much as I do filming and sort of making the videos. So being able to play around with stuff like that, I like being the one that's able to do that. And I have burnt out multiple times in the past, but not really recently. I think the ideas and stuff that have just been flowing through my brain. It's genuinely so much fun making videos, and obviously the support as well from you guys really does help motivate me even more. So yeah, I appreciate all the support. What was your favorite Minecraft recreation that you did? I had to take it back to the old times. I appreciate that. I genuinely say my favorite was that Thought Park recreation. It came together a lot better than the Alton Towers one did. Have you ever thought about becoming a coaster like the Smiler or something? You know what? I've never considered becoming the Smiler. What's your favourite music to listen to when you're building something at Isle of Discovery? I genuinely just stick on multiple of my playlists that I have, and they can range from, you know, classic pop music, just drum and bass, hard style, gaming soundtracks, film soundtracks, TV show soundtracks. I just listen to everything, it seems. Will we ever get a merch tour, specifically the posters in the back of your videos? You know what? You can right now. As you can see, we have a Tornado Springs bottle cap type thing that I dropped once, and it made a very funny sound.
Right here we got a bottle of beer.
A very cool Voltron drawing by GC Artwork, very cool. A Nemesis poster signed by John Wardley, John Burton and Bianca Sammut. An actual Shockwave poster from the queue line of Shockwave on its last stand event. Hero All Day, very cool design, thank you Lou Gilmore. A Disneyland Innovations poster that was from the Disney 100 event in London, and also this Hex poster by Joshua Luke, again, insane design. And up there is a Red Bull car. And there will also be a Lego Red Bull car, because I'm obsessed with Lego. And I want that Formula 1 car so bad. Will you go on a big trip abroad to the USA or Asia in the future, or a European road trip? And I've mentioned it many a time before. Yes, I'm going back to Florida. I'm going to get to experience Rise of the Resistance for the first time, Cosmic Rewind, and of course Velocicoaster, Hagrid's, and Epic Universe. I cannot wait. Stay tuned for the vlog series on that. What was your first major roller coaster? My first major coaster was the Big Dipper in Blackpool, followed by Air at Alton Towers. I'm not calling it Galactica. Would you rather get rid of Hyperia or get rid of Voltron? We need more content with Nina, sad face. I know. What's the hardest part about planning an all-day challenge, and is there going to be one in the future? I'd say the hardest part about organising a challenge is finding a day where everyone can do it, or I guess sort of making that day and making some contacts to see if we could get filming, or even Flamingo Land. Appreciate that so much. They got us an entire hero ride car for the day. But will there be one soon? Towards the start of the season, there will be a Rita all-day video, but it won't be a charity event like Hero. And that's another hard part about these challenges, is you have to find the right ride to do it on, because Tidal Wave was obviously very wet, and Hero was extremely painful. So if I were to do, you know, Rita, it's not on that same league. Who knows what the future may hold? When are we getting more merch? I know I have worn my previous merch in a few videos recently, and I've had a few questions asking, is there merch coming out? I was supposed to release some last year, but I decided not to, purely because, well, I just want to spend time perfecting a design, because there's nothing worse than making a hoodie and just slapping a logo on it and saying, yeah, have that. So I'm not too sure at the moment, but maybe in the future. It's not off the cards. What is your top bucket list theme park and coaster? At the moment, my bucket list theme park is Cedar Point over in Ohio, America. And as for the coaster, it's gotta be Velocicoaster, which is crazy because I'm going on that later this year. Favorite flavor of crisps? I am not a crisp person, but I sincerely apologise. Are you going to go to Wallaby Holland this year to ride Yoy? I will be, yes, I'm excited to ride it. I won't be there for opening day, but I really do want to go and check it out, and I will be there, maybe even twice this year. Are there any theme parks outside of Europe or America that you really want to visit? Again, over in Asia, there are so many parks there that I really want to go to. Fuji-Q Highland looks amazing, and just all the different Disney parks over in that region look incredible. What travel plans do you have for the rest of the year? Of course, I did say Florida, and I have said about Wallaby Holland once or twice. I might be going to some new parks as well, such as Toverland and Emerald Park, and might even be going back to the likes of Park Asterix. Some of them might be quite last minute, so make sure you subscribe, because there may be some unexpected theme park visits on here soon. Will you ever recreate a theme park in Planet Coaster? For example, Thorpe Park. If you remember in Planet Coaster 1, I actually did start remaking Thorpe Park, and it just took forever. But I have always wanted to make Alton Towers in Planet Coaster. I've always wanted to do that. I just think the map is too small. How many coaster creds do you have? I actually have about 260 odd, I think. So maybe by the end of the year, if I do end up on around 300, I'll do a top 300 roller coasters. Do you see yourself content creating as a career or wanting to do something different? Now, originally, as I said, wanted to be an architect and roller coaster design stuff, but going into content creation and the theme park space and everything, I absolutely love it. So I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm very grateful to have this as my job, and I will not ever take that for granted. Dan, why are you so damn tall? Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think I'm that tall. Whatever happened to the builder costume? I don't actually know, to be fair. I don't know where it... When will you start the water park in Planet Coaster 2? I'm going to probably start it when they announce the new updates coming out, because then I'll know my slides actually work. Park Asterix or Park Warner Madrid? I'd say Park Asterix for the general sort of like coaster lineup and ride lineup, but Park Warner Madrid for Batman. What is the best part of being a Thuzy content creator? Oh, we love the word Thuzy. My favourite part is definitely meeting so many different people and sort of interacting with familiar faces and obviously new ones too. All the different event days, such as I guess the opening days of certain rides, the opening days of certain parks, and just like the speculation side of it, you know, I just really enjoy it. What is your favourite dark ride in the UK? I'm not going to give that away purely because I want to do a ranked list of them all, but for now I'm going to say Wallace and Gromit Thrill-O-Matic. What is your favourite coaster element of all time? I actually had this conversation with someone very recently, and I would say that beyond vertical launch down into whatever the hell comes next on Voltron. If not that, the swing launch onto Tatis or that airtime hill on Batman Gotham City Escape. What is one defunct cred that you really want to ride? Least favourite and favourite flat ride. My least favourite is probably the top spin at Park Warner Madrid, because it literally didn't go upside down once. And my favourite has to be Loki at Liseberg. Why do you hate Rita so much? The reason I don't really like the ride is because, one, it isn't the greatest ride at all. 2, it's not exactly the smoothest ride. And 3, when you have it amongst all the other rides at Alton Towers, it just doesn't stand out whatsoever. And finally, when is Rita all day? Oh, that's a big question. Well, I can tell you it's going to be on